Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, Tosh here, Skyways to Highways. Today I'm going to be showing you how to utilize your Tembo Tusk Skottle, how to cook on it, how to clean it, and how to keep it in great condition for years to come. We're going to start with putting it together, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to assemble. When you buy the full Tembo Tusk package, it comes with a lid, the cooking apparatus here, and it also comes with a rack, which is here. This is for steaming vegetables or frying, and this wonderful little wind guard that comes handy dandy. So we've got this little adapter here. So I'm just going to take my propane bottle. You can also hook this up to your propane that you have on your hiker trailer if you picked up that option. And I'm going to take my legs, put these on. It can be a little tricky because the little pointy part here, where you can adjust, sometimes it's hard to find. So what I did was I took a Sharpie and I put a little arrow right here, which enables you to pretty much know where your little point is. Okay. And you want to tighten these up so your legs don't fall off, and then go ahead and stand it up. Welcome to Skyways to Highways Camp Kitchen.
A word of caution, you're going to see my mushroom happy dance right now.
Organic, fresh, beautiful produce.
One of my favorite things to do is the farmer's market.
This is another video in our how-to series where we take your questions and quandaries related to our hiker trailer, and we answer those on video when we come up with a solution. And this question that I had from Instagram was asking about the Tembo Tusk Skottle, which, if you've been watching our channel, you know religiously I use just about every single day for almost every single meal that I cook. And the question was, how do I maintain and care for my Tembo Tusk Skottle? And I've been asked that question many times in the year and a half or so that we have been in our hiker trailer. And I thought it was about time that I just made a little video, give you a run through how I cook, clean, and maintain my Tembo Tusk Skottle. And there's not a big trick to it. If you have a cast iron pan and you can keep it in good condition at home, then you have no problem learning the few things that you can utilize to keep your Tembo Tusk in great shape for many years to come. These things are built to last. So yeah, let's talk about it, and I'll show you what I do to maintain my Tembo Tusk Skottle. But in order to do that, I have to get it dirty. So I'm going to cook some dinner really quick. And if you stay to the end of this video, you get a recipe out of this. So the first thing we want to talk about is the do's and don'ts of maintaining your Tembo Tusk Skottle. The first don't is do not use a spatula to scrape the surface of your Skottle. The biggest enemy of your Skottle is rust. Once you scrape the surface to the point of causing some gouges, you're going to end up introducing liquid into that scratch, and you're going to end up with rust. And once you start getting rust on this, it's kind of hard to keep up with it. Those of you who use a cast iron skillet, you already know this. So do not use any type of metal implement that is going to scratch the surface of your Skottle. Instead, I use one of two things. I use a a silicone spatula, and I try to get one that has a nice tip on the end of it so that I can really do some scraping and get underneath the food that I'm cooking, you know, for omelets and stuff like that. This just does not damage my Skottle in any way. And the other one, if I need something a little bit more stiff, you know, a little something that's going to not have any give, then I'm using a wooden spatula. This is great. This works really wonderful on the road. Just don't leave it sitting in water. That'll introduce mold into it. But this works great for just scraping off, you know, the burnt on bits that you can get off of your Skottle pretty easily. So these are our do. This is a don't. Do not use a metal spatula. Trust me, you will end up with rust on your Skottle and you'll hate yourself. Okay, on to the next one. Do not use. This is a big don't, guys. Steel wool. Steel wool, again, it's going to scratch the surface. You will always have an issue with rust. Rust is not your friend on a Skottle. So make sure that you take this. This is what you do with this. Just don't do it. Okay. The next don't is do not leave water on your Skottle and then just simply put it away. You definitely want to make sure that your Skottle is nice and dry, and you're going to use a cloth just to dry it off, or you can heat it like I do with my cast iron skillet. Just heat it until it dries out and then leave it with a nice sheen of oil at the end. The last don't is dish detergent. No need to use any type of detergent on your Skottle. Don't use Dawn. Don't use anything abrasive like Barkeeper's Friend. No need to use anything for stainless steel or what have you. It cleans perfectly fine without it. It's not necessary. And you want to keep the nice even seasoning, this coating on your Skottle. And this allows you to cook without things sticking too much. Of course, nothing is completely non-stick unless you're using Teflon. Oh, okay. Nothing is totally non-stick unless you're using Teflon. So we don't want to use Teflon. So this is the aftermath of my pad thai that I had for dinner. It was delicious, by the way. And if you stay to the end, I do have that recipe for you if you're interested on a nice vegan pad thai that you can cook on your Skottle. It's really simple and easy. Doesn't have a whole lot of steps to it and or ingredients. So I hope you give that a try. A Skottle cleans really easily if you've got one of these. These are very cheap. You can get these at the everything store. It's just a bamboo scraper / spatula. And what I like to do is let it dry, and then I just scrape out the extra bits here, toss them in the campfire. We don't feed the critters. Sometimes I'm guilty of that, I know. As you can see in here in the middle, so I have a little extra buildup here, a little extra pad thai residue that did not come completely clean. So you definitely want to get this off of here. So the best way to do that would be to add some water to the Skottle. You can let this sit, just let it soak for just a few minutes, or you can turn on the heat, which would be the quickest way to do it. So you heat this up. You can see the bubbles here working on my food buildup. And I just use my scraper spatula here, and I just scrape up what's left of my pad thai. And literally this took a minute tops. This was really quick and easy. And done. So turn this off. And get the last of that liquid out, and then I'm just going to use my towel here to finish cleaning the surface, and then I'm just going to leave my Skottle with a nice little sheen of oil, and then buff that through. And I like to run around the underside, wipe off the excess, and then we're ready to go for the next meal. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to clean your Skottle when you've got a lot of stick. There are certain items that you cook that are just going to leave a big mess and a lot of residue on the surface of your Skottle. So I'm going to show you how to clean after you've got a ton of stuff stuck here. So let's go ahead and do that. I use this product called Just Egg, and no matter how much oil I put on this, it completely sticks It makes a big giant mess, and it can be a little overwhelming, but just, take your time with it. Don't resort to using the metal spatula or the steel wool, trust me. You do not want to do that. This will be quick and easy. So I'm gonna make some eggs real quick. It's Sunday brunch for Gary and I. So I'm going to just make a quick little brunch. You can see this egg leaves a lot of mess here. Not bad. I'll be back after we eat. To recap, do not use steel wool to clean your Skottle. Instead, use a bamboo spatula or a wooden scraper. Skottle don't number 2. Do not use any of these cleaners. Get them out of your hands and do not let them touch your Skottle. Instead, use water to clean your Skottle and then heat it to dry. Don't number 3. Do not use a metal spatula to clean your Skottle. Use a bamboo spatula or a wooden spatula and just scrape away until everything is gone. Okay guys, brunch was awesome first of all, but I do have a mess here on my Skottle. As you can see, sometimes this just takes a little bit extra work. So you saw me use water. With this I find that sometimes it's a little easier to completely heat up your Skottle. I guess you can call this a dry cleaning of the Skottle. So I literally just burn off all of this excess residue. So I'm going to go through and scrape all of this off using the point of my spatula. Once this dries out, this will flake and come off pretty easily. These wooden spatulas take a lot of abuse. They're pretty easy to work with. Just don't soak them in water and you're good to go. These will last probably as long as your Skottle will. On another note, what you also don't want to do with your Skottle, you don't want to leave it soaking in water overnight unless it's an emergency situation and you just have so much on here that you just can't get it off using any of these methods. Soaking is going to change the non-stick surface of your Skottle and you may have to reseason it depending. Going to turn this down, but I've reached the smoking point and now I can just scrape off the rest of the residue here. As you can see, that came up pretty easily, but definitely a little more residue than you might be used to. So last but not leastly, again, you just want to make sure that your Skottle is nice and dry. Don't add water at this point. You're just going to add a little more oil and you're just going to use a clean towel to wipe it through. What you don't want is to leave too much oil on your Skottle. The oil has a tendency to get sticky over time and then you end up with an oil buildup, which you don't want. Okay, and your Skottle is good to go. So just these few tips, I hope they helped. And Skottles aren't difficult. They're really pretty simple once you know the basics, and I hope I've given them to you today so that you can utilize your Skottle for many years to come. And I tell you, this Tembo Tusk Skottle is a wonderful addition to your hiker trailer galley, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. So we'll see you on the next one. If you got some value from this video and you really enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more content like this. Whether we're in the skyways or in the highways, just know that we're going to take you with us. We'll see you on the next one. Safe travels all.